Richard Townsend.
And you are tuned into the Married at Marks podcast, where we talk about the ins, the outs, the ups, the downs, the shit no one else wants to talk about, the greatest and, occasionally the worst of professional craps news from around the globe. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you so much. We really do appreciate that you're joining us today. We hope you keep coming back for more. But hey, if it's not your first rodeo, you know how this goes. We love you extra, extra hard. Whether it is your first time or your 160th. Oh, baby. Do us a favor, like, subscribe, leave a comment on whatever site or app you are tuned in on today. It takes you like 2 seconds. Seriously, just do it. Put your finger on the little thing and, poke it. That sounds real gross. We are part of the Inside Joke and Outside Voice podcast network. You can learn more about them at ijov.net. Visit our hashtag Podern Family. Shout out to Genius Pie for the Married Marks podcast theme song. Learn more about them at Twitter at Genius Pie for all of your funny bone tickling musical needs. And hey, we want to hear from you, dear listeners. Hit us up. We'd love you to chime in on a topic that you hear about today, or if you have a suggestion for a future episode, feel free to hit us up. You can catch us online, www.marriedmarks.com. If you want to drop us a little note and slide into our DMs, you can find us on Twitter at marriedmarks, or even better, slide us an email, marriedmarkspod, that's P-O-D, at gmail.com. Use your words, people. Hello, baby.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Why?
Well, we sat through that Royal Rumble.
I'm fine. It was fine. It was a thing. I've sat through more painful experiences in my life. It was more fun than a root canal.
And about as long as a root canal, too.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't good. We'll talk a little bit about the Rumble. We definitely have some opinions about things. But we have quite a bit of news to cover today, and we want to make sure that we get through it. It's interesting because we typically record a little earlier in the evening. And we waited today because we were watching Serenity for the 800 billionth time in our lives. And I'm kind of glad we did because some pretty big news dropped in the middle of watching the movie.
We have breaking news.
Breaking news.
Actually, it did drop earlier in the afternoon. It just finally showed up in my alert feed.
Hey.
While we were watching Serenity.
Listen, Linda, it's fine. What do we got?
WWE co-presidents forced out in management shakeup.
Forced out?
Forced out.
That sounds painful. That sounds painful and forceful.
So, as being reported by Variety magazine...
Wow.
WWE is poised for a massive management shakeup as longtime executives George Barrios and Michelle Wilson have been forced out of their roles as co-presidents and from the company's board of directors.
Wow, that's huge.
They have been with this company for over 10 years in their positions.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Not only are they no longer co-presidents, they were forced off the board of directors as well.
That's pretty freaking huge.
Yes. George Barrios was the chief financial officer for WWE.
Is there any speculation as to why this has happened?
McMahon said the shakeup was sparked by conflicting strategic visions for the company. WWE has seen its stock prices fall sharply in recent months amid concerns about soft ratings for its flagship TV shows and rising competition from upstart wrestling organizations like AEW on TNT.
So that's interesting, because that makes me wonder who was on the right side of growth here and got pushback.
Yes.
Because my knee-jerk reaction is Mr. Chicken and Pasta and Chicken didn't like upstarts trying to come into his... You don't walk into Vince's office. You know what I mean, though. But we don't know. Honestly, we don't know. It's all speculation.
So McMahon actually did make a statement saying, "I would like to thank George and Michelle for their 10-plus years of service and contributions to the organization. I am grateful for all that was accomplished during their tenure, but the board and I decided a change was necessary as we have different views on how best to achieve our strategic priorities moving forward."
So,
I read that as, shit's gone south, you're the patsies.
I would also like to know are they open? And like, I would be completely honest to say that this information may be out there, and I have not looked it up. I'm just talking.
Mhm.
I would like to know if their strategic plans are available publicly. Like, is that openly known as to like what their strategic plan and goal is? What is their end goal? Are they trying to like meet something by a specific fiscal period? Like, it sounds stupid, but like, I would really like to know that. And I don't listen to the, I don't like read the transcripts from the conference calls and stuff like that when they have their quarterlies, and I probably should moving forward. But I'm
That's
curious.
all. That is all the information you will ever get on their financials is from those, because they are a publicly traded company. Those calls
They
have to be made available.
But that's what I'm curious about. Is like, what are the strategic goals? What is the company's strategic goals?
To make the most money possible.
You know what I mean, though. Like,
But that's a very obvious thing, though.
But I'm curious, like, are there other, like, a strategic goal doesn't necessarily have to just be fiscal. A strategic goal can mean lots of different things. It can have, like, specific strategies within it.
Sure.
That have to be achieved with, like, some kind of quantifiable measurement that has to be reached within a specific time period. Usually it's like 1 fiscal year to 2 fiscal years, like a biennium. So I'm just curious what that would look like. And if they had somebody who disagreed with it, like, I have so many questions. And I know we're never going to get answers, but like, I have so many questions.
So I am actually looking something up here because I am actually curious what Michelle Wilson's role was in WWE.
Yeah, I'm not for certain.
I'm seeing a lot of this article all over when you do She was the executive vice president of marketing.
Okay, so we had a differentiation. We had a difference of agreement in regard to marketing.
Yes.
Or, I mean, it could be something else.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. So she joined WWE in 2009 as executive vice president of marketing and was elevated to chief marketing officer in 2011. In 2013, Wilson was promoted to chief revenue and marketing officer.
Oh, interesting.
In this role, Wilson oversees all of the company's revenue lines, including consumer products, sponsorship sales, pay-per-view, and new business development. Wilson also oversaw marketing, corporate communications, creative services, entertainment relations, special events, research, and community relations.
Okay.
Also spearheaded the company's efforts to launch the WWE Network.
Well, to be fair, the network was a good idea. Like, I can't fault the WWE for the network. The network is like the one thing I actually miss about supporting the company financially, because you consistently get good stuff on there.
Apparently, Wilson is also what transformed the Big Four events into multi-day events with
NXT
Access, with the fan fests, all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
That was all Michelle Wilson.
So it sounds like this is, I would love to be a fly on the wall in these situations. I would legitimately love more info. I have so many questions, and it's not going to do me any good to sit here and think about them. But like, my big thing is I would love to know what that strategic goal is. Like, what are the company's legitimate strategic goals? Do they have a strategic plan? What is it? What are the steps? What are the strategies? What are the goals? And like, within what time frame do they have to be completed? Come on, Vince. Let us know.
That'll never happen.
I would love it if it would, though, because I'm very intrigued. If somebody has like information that we are not privy to, please feel free to reach out to us. I'm honestly curious. The person in me that worked for 3 Fortune 5s is very curious right now.
Wow. Yeah, WWE was quick to update their website, the corporate Who We Are.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure they had that unlocked the second the papers were signed.
So let's see. George Barrios joined WWE in March of 2008 as Chief Financial Officer, overseeing the company's financial accounting and investor relations strategies and activities. He also oversees the company's IT, facilities, and travel group.
That's a really broad spectrum.
So he was the Chief Financial Officer and the Chief Information Officer.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
This is intriguing.
Well, all this had to do with money. Both of them were money related, ties to money.
WWE, you got how much money from this fucking KSA partnership?
And from the Fox deal.
And from the Fox deal. What is the problem? God, to be a fly on the walls.
Well,
I'm sure there's like things that we're just blatantly not seeing, but
also on top of this, it was being reported that they have cut back their house show schedule.
yeah, we did read about this a little bit earlier in the week,
And,
which is an interesting change.
I mean, so they're cutting money again.
So this makes me wonder, like, what's going on? Maybe, can I speculate? Can I hope? Do I dare to hope that maybe they're looking to like tighten up some loose ends to like rearrange financially some things, because maybe, just maybe, if we're lucky, this KSA deal is gonna go out the window?
No. I think you're actually looking at the opposite. If they're in financial trouble, they're going to go to them again and probably
And, like,
more
double
often
down.
for more money from them.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, guys, this is all speculation. This is literally just us talking into a void. So nobody really knows the full details here, but it is an intriguing topic. So I'm curious what our listeners think of all of this. If you have information, if you're curious, if you'd like to sound off, tweet at us at Married Marks. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this particular weird little situation that's broken.
Yeah, so let's kind of touch on the Royal Rumble, which was this past Sunday.
Yeah.
So we watched the event. We only caught a little of the pre-show.
Yeah, because it started really early.
Yeah.
Like, really
well,
early.
yeah, I mean, the pre-show started at 5 o'clock.
Crazy.
And then the main show started at 6. No, the pre-show started at 4 o'clock. Main show started at 6.
We did catch the Sheamus...
We caught the very end of the Sheamus match.
The very end of the Sheamus match, which was very good from what I saw. It was solid. I'm not even sure where to begin with this one.
Well, most of the non-Rumble matches were forgettable.
Very much so.
I would say the only non-Rumble matches that weren't forgettable was the Asuka Becky match.
That was great. That was a really fun match. Like, I don't have a lot of complaints on that one. And there was really, like, no loser for us. Like,
yeah,
it was fine. Like, I was fine with any outcome. I probably would have been a little bit happier had it ended the other way, but I was still fine with it.
So let's just go right into the two events that are the namesake of the event.
So the Women's Rumble was tremendous. I legitimately really enjoyed the Women's Rumble.
Okay. The Women's Rumble for me on a scale of 1 to 10 gets an 8.
I'm going to give it about an 8.5 because I really did enjoy it.
Well, it would have gotten a 10 from me.
Except for one specific glaring issue.
Except for one glaring issue, but we will get to that.
We'll get to that. I'm ignoring that. So, like, if you're sitting at home and you're going, yo, Shannon, what the fuck? Calm down, Beyonce. We're going to get there.
We gonna get there.
Trust. Mama's getting there. Just calm down. It's fine. Snapback Shannon will be here very shortly. We're going to do it to him. Needless to say... Oh my god, I love that my TikTok following is now like starting to listen to this podcast and my jokes are just crossing over. The Women's Rumble for the most part was great. We saw a plethora of amazing talent from NXT. We got Mia Yim, we got Shotzi fucking Blackheart.
Yeah.
It was dope. I was so happy to see
Bianca
that.
Belair had a very good showing.
Let's acknowledge that, like, this was absolutely confirmation, 110%, that the company is invested in Bianca Belair.
Yes. To have her in the ring from the beginning.
Man, they shined her up. Like,
for as long as she was in there.
It was so good.
Yeah, no, it was extremely good. There were not a lot of legacy entrants.
I'm fine with it. We did get Molly Holly, which made like...
We got Mighty Molly.
Yeah, we got Mighty Molly, which was fantastic.
Yes.
Everybody here was just erupting. It was great.
Minnesota's own.
Minnesota's own Molly Holly.
So, of course, where we were watching just blew up.
Yeah, everybody, like, standing O. It was great. I should have gotten video. It was adorable.
It was Molly Holly. It was Beth Phoenix.
Who's now,
I suppose, technically active again, but Still
I'm
legacy.
fine with it though. Like I love her.
Kelly Kelly,
Yes.
and entrant 29.
So 29 was the big glaring problem here.
Do we want to go into it now?
Let's go into it.
So,
Grab your snapback hats.
for those of you who have not seen the Royal Rumble, or those of you who did not catch up on what happened at the Royal Rumble,
Spoilers.
entrance 29 was Santino Marella dressed up as Santina.
Now, let's acknowledge, let's just write out the gate before I get too savage. Savage. Worst character in Clone Wars. Before I get too savage here, let's just acknowledge the glaring problem with this entrant in that the representation here is just straight up transphobia. Like, it's a transphobic fucking... It's just archaic and stupid and dumb, and everything about it is just fucking awful. Like, there's nothing I can say that redeems this entrant. We don't need men in the Women's Rumble. We don't need... And I know I can hear... Ooh, I can hear the cries of all you, like, cis bros out there that are like, but what about women in the men's rumble? Yeah,
Okay.
that's
May
great.
I?
Yes.
May I?
Well,
May-
sure.
May I?
Yeah, go ahead.
How many times was there all men's Royal Rumbles before the first woman was in the Royal Rumble?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you want to go that route and you want to say that's equality, fine. Then let's have, I think it's 12 Royal Rumbles before we have a male in the women's Royal
Yeah,
Rumble.
that was exactly the point I was going to make. It's a little thing that we like to talk about on this podcast all the time. It's called equitable booking, boys and girls and non-binary folks out there. Although I'm pretty sure most of you that are non-binary aren't going to fucking fight with me on this because, like, I'm in your camp. This is just fucking ridiculous. It's transphobic. It's ridiculously fucking archaic. Santino would have been a fun entrant in the men's rumble, so why the fuck wasn't that a thing? You could have fed him to Brock Lesnar and, like, not wasted half of your fucking male roster. Oh, sorry, I'll get to that in a goddamn minute. But, like, fuck, it's so good, it's just so bad. It's so bad. I can't even, why do we even need a man in the fucking women's rumble? Guess what? We don't.
Okay. Allow me to put on the man hat.
If you have to, I guess.
Well, I will play a slight devil's advocate here. Now, wait for it. And give you ways where it might have been a little better. Now, full disclosure, it shouldn't have happened at all. I
Yeah.
believe it should never have happened. It definitely shouldn't have happened as the 29th entrant. And it shouldn't have happened where they eliminated themselves when they could have had one of the women eliminate. I also think that was a missed spot. Why do it deep into the end of the Rumble except to make a joke out of it? That's all it was. It is proof that Vince McMahon doesn't give two shits about the women's Royal Rumble because they made a joke.
You could just say
out of it.
women's wrestling. It's fine. You can just say women's fucking wrestling.
You're right, I can.
He doesn't fucking care.
You're right. You are absolutely correct. Had they put that spot number 4, number 5, it wouldn't have stung as bad. It was still dumb.
It would have stung me as bad. I would have been just as pissed off. I don't care where the fucking spot is. I don't care if it's number 4. I don't care if it's number 29. I don't care if it's the first fucking entrant. It would have pissed me off just as much. Like, legitimately, it would have pissed me off as much.
For me, and again, male opinion, take it for what it is. I think it would have hurt, I'm talking micrometers less. Because it just shouldn't have happened anyway.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like, if it's micrometers, is it even worth, like, debating? Like, that's my whole thing. It's like, it just would have pissed me off no matter where it was.
It's not a debate thing.
Yeah.
It's a fact that if he was dead fucking set on doing this and nobody could talk him out of it, he could have placed it in a better position. That's what I'm saying.
I hear you. Yeah.
But there were also a ton of people who should have had that 29th slot. Now, unfortunately, Sasha Banks is injured, so obviously Sasha wasn't going to get it.
Yeah.
But there were other women on the main roster. There were other women in NXT. They could have brought anybody into that. Hell, they could have brought a different legacy back in.
There's a million other ways they could have done this.
They could have brought Lita in. They could have brought anybody back. But no, they had to bring a joke out.
Mm-hmm.
Much like when they had fucking chinless asshole take the briefcase from the first ever women's Money in the Bank match.
We don't need to talk about him.
It continues to prove that Vince think that the women are a joke.
And that's the part that's the most frustrating to me. Like, we could sit here and we could sit here and talk about semantics about, like, could it have sung less? Would there have been better options? Like, at the end of the day, though, like, this is what happened. And the reality is Vince McMahon doesn't care about the women's roster. And that's what I truly believe. And I'm sure we have listeners that are going to argue. I know we have friends that are tied to the business that are probably going to argue that point and think I'm full of shit. But, like, at the end of the day, that's how this reads. This reads as you don't give a shit. This reads as you don't respect the females in your roster and you don't give a fuck about that public perception. And that's what pisses me off. And when people ask me why I don't fucking support the WWE with my dollar anymore, it's because of shit like that. You want a laundry list? I got a list of fucking Jericho I could hand your ass. It's huge.
No, right there with you on every one of those points.
Moss-covered, three-handled family. I can't even. I also was not, let's acknowledge that I was not super thrilled with the outcome of this Rumble. And it's purely, I will admit, I will take full ownership here that this is just a Shannon problem. Because most people didn't have the same problem I did. I acknowledge it's a Shannon problem.
Yeah, it's a Shannon problem.
I'm tired of Charlotte Flair. That's my problem. I'm tired of Charlotte Flair. I like her a lot. I'm fucking tired of her and she doesn't need to be...
The more I think about it, the more I look at the 30 participants that were in that match, I really believe that Charlotte being on the main roster was the only viable
winner.
They weren't going to put it... I give it another year or two, and then I think we're going to see an NXT winner. Do I believe Shayna Baszler should have won that thing? Absolutely.
See, that's the part I don't understand, is why didn't Baszler win it? It literally makes no bloody sense to me. Like, it's just one of... You ever have a booking in wrestling where you're just like, it makes such fucking sense, and then, like, they don't do it? Like, it makes sense to everybody when you talk about it, and then they don't do it. Like, they don't pull the trigger on it, and you just sit there and you're like, why? Like, that's where I'm at. And I'm just... I fully acknowledge that my frustration with Charlotte Flair is I am just tired of blonde white women always fucking winning everything. Literally, that's me. And I know that I have friends of color that fucking massively disagree with me on this point. And you know what? Their opinions are valid. Their opinions are probably more valid than mine. I'm just purely acknowledging that this is a Shannon problem. This is a Shannon issue. If other people don't have the same issue, that's cool.
So, my problem with Charlotte winning, and this still hasn't lessened. I mean, I've lessened on the fact that, yeah, Charlotte was probably the most viable winner for it. What hasn't lessened, though, is the fact that we are likely getting Charlotte Becky 49,000.
Yeah, which is just like, I mean, it's great. And I'm sure on the past we've been like, oh, fight forever. They could fight a million times. And I'm kind of at the point where I'm done with it. I don't need to watch them wrestle all the time.
They have been fighting forever.
They're great. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's the problem, is they're great. It's gonna sell tickets and it's gonna get views. So that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
I feel like Charlotte is kind of like getting that John Cena pre-leukemia Roman Reigns kind of situation where, like, it's just constant. Like, it's just, here, have Charlotte Flair. Here, have Charlotte Flair. Here, have Charlotte Flair. It's like my Sicilian stepmother trying to consistently feed me leftovers when I'm not fucking hungry anymore. But, like, no.
Just have a little more.
Have a little more. And, like, if you actually don't want any, you have to shoot her. Like, she's just gonna keep coming with it. That's how I feel about Charlotte Flair. She is that, like, 800th helping of fucking lasagna that I don't need today. I like her a lot.
Well, I mean, the name. It's the name, Flair.
It's the prestige. It's
the prestige of the name Flair.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Charlotte is good.
Like, I understand
She
why.
is a very talented wrestler.
She's a tremendous wrestler. And like I said, this is a Shannon issue. This is purely a Shannon issue. Nobody else I've talked to had the same problem. Actually, I can't say that. There were a couple people I know, but...
I would like to say that I think this Rumble had quite a bit of variety other than white women.
Oh, there was tremendous diversity in the ring this particular match.
I mean, we had
LGBTQ
a lot of women
representation.
of color.
We had women of color. Naomi with that hair, girl, never go back.
Natural hair is
fucking
fantastic.
Also, like, we know I stan Naomi. Like, whoa, I fucking love her. I've loved Naomi forever. I screamed. The whole bar, like, erupted. Jordan and I were both like, fuck yeah! It was great.
It was the first time we had seen Naomi in a
long time. Yeah.
So,
and it was great. And she, like, Naomi kind of got the Kofi moment that Kofi didn't get this year.
Yeah, we had a lot of Asian participants.
Yes. Mia Yim
and Kairi Sane and...
she ran down the entrance ramp with her fucking elbow.
Xia Li.
We don't deserve Kairi Sane. We live in a world where we don't deserve Kairi Sane, people. She's fantastic.
I would say there was quite a nice diverse representation.
It was. And, like, up until that, like, 29th spot, it was joy. It was just joyous. Like, the whole Rumble was really fun. I will definitely say that, like, the Women's Rumble stole the pay-per-view. Like, for me, it was the best part of the night.
Yeah, absolutely for me as well.
It was really fun. It was really well-paced. We had great spots. Everything was really beautifully done. A little sad we didn't get Nia. I was hoping Nia was going to make her return.
Yeah. That would have been nice.
She's starting to do appearances and stuff again, so, like, I think she's just about ready for ring ready again.
Nia's got a haircut, too.
Nia got a good haircut.
Yep.
My big, thick bitch. I love you. Love you. Nia, call me.
I mean, overall, yeah, I would say the Women's Rumble was the match of the night.
It was really, really, really great. Let's talk about the Men's Rumble. I'm surprisingly not going to go on the tirade that everybody's going to expect me to go on this one.
Oh, I am.
You go right ahead. But here's my thing. I'm okay. Let's just talk about the giant blood sausage elephant in the room that's Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
Do I think it was stupid? Yeah.
Yes.
Because we kind of got like half a Rumble, because half of it was just him yeeting people out of the ring. However, I do have to give Brock Lesnar some props here.
Yes.
Okay? Yeah, y'all heard it here. I'm giving Brock Lesnar, one of my most hated wrestlers of all time, I'm giving him props. Because watching my boy Keith Lee...
Excuse me? Who?
Yeet Lee. Step into the ring... who we know I fucking love to death anyway, because I just love that man.
Bask in his glory. He
steps into the ring, and you hear on camera Brock go, "Oh, big boy." I'm like, yes, this is the energy that I tuned in for today. It was like, this sounds stupid. Every once in a while, I fucking can't stand him, but every once in a blue moon, Brock Lesnar says something on camera that just fucking sends me into fits of giggles. And in that instance, I kind of like him. I think if they would let him do more of that shit, I would probably like him a lot more. Because I don't like him. But, like, oh, big boy. Like, shut up. That was worth the price of fucking admission right there. It was so good. Also, like, Brock versus Keith Lee. Ooh. Sign me up, daddy. Can I watch that like 800 more times? Because, like, that was fucking good TV. I'm sorry. I really enjoyed that.
So, yeah, no, it was definitely very good. We got a decent amount of NXT representation in the men's rumble.
We did. It was really fun.
Keith Lee. We had Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle's short tenure in the rumble was apparently being reported to the fact that he and Brock Lesnar got into a vocal altercation backstage before the show even started.
Allegedly.
And so Mr. Riddle was eliminated within like 90 seconds because of it.
Yep. Like, it was fine. It's Matt Riddle. Like, he's great, but like, we know he's kind of lippy backstage.
Yes.
So does this surprise me? Not really. Yeah, we had lots of great NXT representation. We had some really fun stuff.
There was very little legacy.
Yeah, that was what really surprised me. And I was
mean,
like,
one big one. Edge.
Yeah, Edge showed up, which, like, we all knew it was the worst kept secret of the fucking weekend. Like, all knew it was coming.
But he was adamant that everybody was making things up, and we reported he was lying through his teeth.
Yeah, he was full of shit.
We knew it was coming.
He was full of shit. It was a good comeback, though. Like, it was very well received. The pop was fucking huge. Like, crowd really dug it. He looks great.
I cringed every time he took a bump, though.
It's, you know what? To be fair, though, like, we do that every time D-Bry takes a bump. We do that every time. Like, it's God, anytime Tommaso Ciampa even just, like, sets foot in the ring, I'm just a nervous fucking basket case.
Seriously.
It's like, no, not the neck. Yeah, just, it was fun. How do we feel about the outcome?
So Drew McIntyre became a face.
In this instance. I'm not going to say he's like a face fully. I'm kind of siding with like...
Well, no, he became a face the second he eliminated Brock Lesnar.
In this instance. I don't think that's going to stick as like a character archetype, though. I don't think they're going to write him as face. I think they're going to like, they use this as a way to like build his popularity, and then they're going to have him keep being himself. But it was very good. Like, it was very, very good. I really just wanted like 10 more minutes of Keith Lee versus Brock. Like, that's all I wanted in my life.
Yeah, overall though, I did not have a problem with that winner. I'm actually very pleased with that winner choice.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good ending.
We are going to get, you know, maybe some movement on him actually being a main event picture wrestler now. I hope it sticks past the fucking Rumble. Or past WrestleMania?
Yeah, we'll see. There was a lot of pointing at the sign. How do we feel about the WrestleMania sign this year? I think it's kind of derpy looking.
It's derpy looking. Who do you think he challenges?
That's a good question. And I don't know. I legitimately don't know.
I think he challenges Brock. Because he eliminated Brock.
It would be, I mean, I feel like that's the obvious story.
And I think that is a good match. Because I think you want that belt on McIntyre.
I think if they're smart, they put the belt on McIntyre. I think it's a sure shot, but I feel like they're not going to see it as a sure shot.
And if they don't put it on McIntyre, I think that becomes trouble with the people
well,
who
then what
have
are they
been...
going to do with McIntyre if they don't? Like, what the fuck are they going to do with him?
He goes
That's gonna
back
be it.
to...
Like, that'll be it. That'll shoot him in the
again.
foot. That's literally like, pff, you're done. Like, good luck. Creative just, like, murdered you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
It was nice to see Roman Reigns had a good showing.
Yeah, Roman looked real good. Roman was fine.
The bar we were at, you know, our favorite Bar Luchador, I was starting to hear the rumbles again.
Ooh, fucking Roman.
Yeah, I'm starting hearing the fucking Roman stuff again.
Listen, guys, listen. Before he was out for leukemia, it was, we're sick and tired of having him shoved down our throats, right? Okay, I get it. I bitched and moaned and pissed about John fucking Cena for the same reasons, okay? Like, for years, because you can't beat Superman. It's annoying when you can't beat Superman, right? You need a little kryptonite once in a while, otherwise the story gets fucking boring.
Yes.
However, since Roman came back, which first off, Like, massive kudos to him for beating the illness and coming back and looking like $1 million. Second, though, and more importantly, he hasn't been shoved down anybody's throats. They've actually kept him really kind of quiet. They haven't booked him as strong. They haven't had him in that limelight. He hasn't been getting, like, primary runs. He hasn't been getting anything. So, like, honestly, shut the fuck up about Roman Reigns. What's the problem? What's the problem? You're fine with that, but, like, you're fine, like, pissing on him, but then you're gonna, like, these are the same people that, like, bitch at me for, like, getting irritated with Charlotte consistently getting, like, title runs and shit. It's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. It's boring. Just shut up. He's fine. I'm fine with Roman. I like Roman. Don't worry about it. Just let the dude do his job.
So, yeah, overall, I think the men's Rumble was the 30 worst minutes of a Royal Rumble I have ever seen.
It wasn't great.
Followed by probably 20 minutes of an amazing
really awesome
men's Royal Rumble.
Yeah, because, like, the second Keith Lee got in that ring, the entire dynamic changed. Like, that was when the whole match, like, shifted for me. And everybody was suddenly into it. Because, like, can we also acknowledge that, like, Keith Lee, look, he's bigger than Brock?
Yeah.
Like,
Big boy.
big boy. That's good energy. I'm still here for it. Oh, big boy. I just want a t-shirt of Brock looking terrified that says, oh, big boy. I'd read the shit out of that. Oh my god. All right. So that was Royal Rumble. What else we got?
Mauro Ranallo has decided he is never returning to social media.
That's a bummer, but I'm also not super surprised.
Yeah. This is in direct result of the comments that Corey Graves made about Ranallo that caused him to go on a hiatus for a short period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we just acknowledge that Corey Graves need to just go away? I'm done with him. I'm done with his stupid edgelord bullshit. He sucks. I'm just over it. We don't need more creepy-ass misogynists on the announce team. Oh, yeah, speaking of, it was super great to hear King again on Sunday.
Jesus.
Ugh, God.
So, yeah, Ranallo is actually on a show. He was doing a show in Canada, a radio show, and it was brought up, the Corey Graves incident, and Ranallo called it a blessing in disguise. He said that he deactivated his social media since November. He publicly thanks Corey Graves because that was the straw that broke the proverbial back in terms of social media activity. And I will say here and now, I've deactivated all of my social media since November, and I would implore everyone, especially those with mental health issues, to do the same.
You know what? Good for him, though. Like, if that's the route he wants to go and he wants to speak out against how, not against, but like, about how challenging navigating that can be for people with mental illness, especially bipolar disorder, I applaud him. And I think that's a great way to approach it.
Yes.
So kudos to him.
Let's talk some good news stuff.
Oh, okay.
No, we'll get to that because that's funny stuff.
I'm ready.
Production has begun on the only official and authorized China documentary.
I was so excited about this earlier today. I'm so excited. Joni's getting a documentary.
Yes, a press release was issued stating that this is the only official and authorized feature-length documentary on the former WWE Women's Champion and former WWE Intercontinental Champion, authorized by her estate and her mother, Jan LeCue. My daughter, Joni Lauer, led a remarkable life. I am excited to partner with a production team who is passionate about telling her true life story, not just the parts that played out in the ring or in tabloids. To that end, I have selected a woman producer to work with who understands that the public only knows a small bit of Joni's story. I want to restore her legacy, a legacy that has been tarnished by others. Joni deserves this, and so do her true fans.
Yeah, she does. And I 100% support this. I read this, and I kind of teared up a little bit today. I'm not going to lie. I was very excited.
So, good. I'm looking forward to that. When it finally comes out, we will be first in line to watch that damn thing.
Absolutely. That's going to be excellent.
Yes.
And you better believe we will be keeping an eye on production on this. And as soon as we have information on further details, we will be sure to share them here.
Yes. So, why don't we move on?
You want to move on?
Yes, I think it's time to move on.
Is it time? Is it time for...
I think it might be.
Is it time for your heart to go on? Oh, you know what that means.
Oh, shit.
It's time for Ring Watch. So bad.
So what do you have for Ring Watch this week?
Well, we've got...
Oh, by the way, Ring of Honor, still in existence.
Still exists. What we have this week is an interesting little tidbit that was tossed our way by the one and only John Maddening, ring announcer for First Wrestling, stand-up human being, and the second most hated man in Minnesota wrestling. He sent us a tweet from Kevin Harvey, who is the owner of Rise Wrestling, who you've heard us talk about Rise numerous times on the podcast.
Yes.
We are big Rise fans. We love that they are a pro women, LGBTQ booking promotion. And one of our goals is to actually start getting down to Chicago so that we can start taking in some more of their shows.
Yes.
Kevin had tweeted, well, let's take this back to about 5 days ago when Ring of Honor had tweeted, because it started with a Ring of Honor tweet.
And this is why it's part of Ring Watch.
This is why it's part of Ring Watch. Ring of Honor had tweeted, Women of Honor is ready to take its next step forward in 2020. In efforts to continue to bring fresh and exciting matchups to Women of Honor, we will be conducting a Women of Honor tryout combine on Friday, March 27th and Saturday, March 28th, with a link to full details. Now,
first, may I interject here?
You may.
You want to move better into 2020? Stop firing your champion over stupid shit.
Oh.
How about that?
Wait. I'm gonna need you to repeat that.
Stop firing your champions over stupid shit. I mean, seriously, there was no reason for you to fire Kelly Klein. Yeah, that's what you sounded like when you fired her.
So, needless to say, moving back onto the story itself, Kevin Harvey had quoted this tweet and had tweeted, I was quick to throw a Twitter rock last week, so I need to be just as quick to throw recognition this week. Thank you, Ring of Honor, for listening and making some much needed changes to your applications. However, then he tweeted again with a photo that I will describe here. But now my question is this at Ring of Honor. March 26th through 29th, rather than dividing potential opportunities for women, why not partner with Rise and Shimmer if you're serious about scouting for Women of Honor? Scout top talent all in one spot. No need to charge them $300. Now that's what Ring of Honor is charging.
Charging $300 to try out.
And what's interesting is that, Rise, it looks like it has partnered with numerous promotions for a free seminar and tryouts. And this is in conjunction. It's Rise, Shimmer, BLP, which is Black Label Pro, Freelance Wrestling, who we also talk a lot about on this podcast, TWA, which is Texas Wrestling Academy, and then Berwyn Championship Wrestling. So that raises a really interesting question, is why, in this day and age, when Ring of Honor is so clearly floundering, very much so, making terrible choices, why are they not doing this? Why aren't they serious about scouting for Women of Honor and, partnering with promotions that have a proven track record of excellence in women's wrestling? I mean, that's Shimmer's whole thing. Why the fuck would you not partner with them? So this is interesting to me because I feel like not only is this a massive missed opportunity, but you're also dividing the pool here.
Yes.
In really terrifying ways.
So I have a couple of points on this.
Sure.
Number one, charging $300 is ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous.
I think so too. Now I will say I don't know how many promotions do that, so I can't speak to it.
Pay us for the chance. when you're already paying them well below what you should be paying your female talent.
Mm-hmm. And they are. Like, we know that they're paying well below that median.
Second, I will die on this hill. Stop separating the women from the men in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I will die on that hill. Have them be a part of Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
You can call them the Women of Honor, but make them part of Ring of Honor.
I mean, if you want to look at a promotion that's actually done really, really well by it, you can look at Impact. Like, they took the whole Knockouts division, and boy, did they, like, integrate the living shit out of the women on that program.
Yes.
And they have an incredibly strong women's roster. I am completely with you on that. I think it's poor choices. I think that Ring of Honor doesn't know what the hell they're doing. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah. Do better. Stop sounding like this, Ring of Honor.
Oh, it'll never get old to me. It sucks because like now I have a humor thing I can dive into with it, but I don't want it to continue.
We might have some more. Speaking of Ring of Honor.
Oh no, more Ring Watch?
Well, kinda. Bubba Ray Dudley had stuff to say.
Wait, who?
Bubba Ray Dudley, also known as Bully Ray Dudley. Bully Ray made a guest appearance on this week's episode of WWE's The Bump.
Oh, okay.
During the interview, he gave his thoughts on the Royal Rumble pay-per-view as a whole, and more specifically, the Women's Royal Rumble match.
Okay.
Do you want to know what Bully Ray said about the Women's Royal Rumble?
I don't know, do I?
Well, I think you do, actually, because he said 2 words, Bianca Belair.
Oh.
Listen, Charlotte won. Charlotte to me is on top of the food chain when it comes to the women. Charlotte to me is better than some of the men. Charlotte is the real deal because she's been an athlete her whole life. Her level and athletic ability to me is superior, and that's what makes her so good. She's a warrior. But I'm not shocked. She's the real deal. She was busted open and just kept going. She's definitely a warrior and a ring general. He said he sees a very bright future for Shayna Baszler. When I see Shayna, I see a ground and pound badass. When I see Bianca Belair, I see a WWE superstar.
Ooh.
Also, Rhea Ripley.
Yes.
Who should have been in that Rumble.
Who should have been in
the
that
29th
Rumble.
slot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Her look, her stature, her presence, she reminds me of Charlize Theron from the Mad Max series. She looks like a wasteland badass.
Oh, Bully, giving out those Furiosa vibes? Yes! Sir, who is you? This is not normal. For once, I'm here for everything he's saying. Oh my god, I'm sorry, that just gave me, my cold little Grinch heart just grew, 8 sizes at that comment.
Yes, so...
That's dope. I'm into that. That's really, really cool. All right, I'll put away the Titanic music.
Former WWE star is being reportedly making his AEW debut soon.
Oh.
Can you guess who this former WWE superstar is?
No, I don't know.
Take a guess.
Take a guess.
Yeah.
Former
it's
WWE.
part of the game. Take a guess.
Would you like me to sound like a standard AEW fan?
Yes.
CM Punk.
No, it will not be CM Punk.
I honestly don't know.
Brody Lee, formerly known as Luke Harper, is reportedly expected to make his AEW debut soon.
Do we think he's going to wind up with Dark Order?
I hope
I hate
not.
to say that, but that's my first thought. I hope they don't do that to him because I feel like that's just railroading him into something that he's kind of already done. It's not original.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, but I mean, good for him for getting signed to AEW if that's where he wants to be and he can find a good career there. Awesome. I think that's cool. Good for him.
So it's reported that he will be legally able to start with any other promotion March 18th.
All right then.
And apparently the non-compete clause actually expires on Sunday, March 8th.
Okay. Well, that's something we'll have to keep an eye on for sure.
Yep. He filed for the trademark Brody Lee ring name back in November 26th, shortly before he was granted his release. So, hopefully we'll be seeing him in a little over a month and a half.
All right. Well, we'll keep an eye open.
Yeah. That's about all I got, really.
Yeah. I don't have a whole lot else going on either, so...
I mean, yeah, we didn't watch AEW or NXT this week.
No, we had... Life got in the way.
We had an incident here at the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
don't need to talk about it.
We're fine. Everything's fine.
We're dumbasses.
We're stupid.
We made a dumbass maneuver and we suffered.
It's funnier than it is serious. We're fine. I promise.
No, it's nothing to be worried about. I suppose we do have one more piece of news we should be talking about.
Okay.
From our homegrown First Wrestling.
Oh.
I believe we need to talk about what is coming up in March. Saturday, March 7th. First Wrestling will be hosting Saturday Night Nitro at the Rosedale Mall in Roseville, Minnesota.
This is so hokey old school that I'm super into it.
See, now, I have to wonder, too, because I saw First Wrestling and Eric Cannon both tweet out trying to get booking contact information for one Diamond Dallas Page.
That would be amazing. You get a little DDP. That would be dope. I'd be into that. Can you come here and teach some yoga? I'll go to your yoga.
Tickets will be going on sale soon for this. They are not on sale yet. You know damn well we'll be retweeting the second they do go on sale. You also know damn well we will be buying tickets for this event.
And you also know damn well that the tickets for this are going to go so fast. So if you're in the area or you're able to travel for this and you want to come just take in some real crazy ass fun, this is a real good excuse. First is our favorite of the indie promotions. You kind of can't go wrong with their shows. So this is just going to be a riot of a time. I'm positive.
So a little over a month away for this show. Tickets are going to definitely go fast.
Yeah, they're going to go super fast.
Yes,
so.
they will have seated tickets as well as general admission tickets. You know damn well we're going to be trying for those ringside seats.
Mm-hmm. I do also want to acknowledge something, and I'm waiting for some reading and some other things to come out, and we'll talk about this on next week's podcast. I'm going to push this to next week.
Yes, I was actually going to bring this up as well, so go ahead.
Yeah. We are 100% aware of the story around Jervis Cottonbelly. We're watching it. I need to make sure that I take some serious care in the way that I address this and discuss this. Specifically me. Having been through the shit I've been through in my life. So I didn't want to just open the floodgates and yammer about this. I want to give this some time so that I can approach this topic with some serious care and consideration, because it is a difficult topic to discuss. So please know that next week's episode, yes, we're probably going to talk about it. And know that if you have trauma around that, I'd like to give everybody a heads up. We'll make sure that we put a warning before the beginning of the episode. But, keep everything in mind. And if you have thoughts or concerns, or you want to talk about today's episode, you can always hit us up. You can DM us on Twitter at Married Marks. You can drop us an email, marriedmarkspod@gmail.com. We're more than happy to talk to you. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Chime in. Let us know if there's other stuff you'd like us to talk about next week, too. Also, Black History Month starts next week. So we're going to start our highlight of Black history and wrestling next week. So if you have thoughts, things you'd like to bring up, or potential topics you'd like us to discuss, drop us a line and let us know.
Absolutely. You got any shout-outs?
No.
No?
I do have one shout-out. Shout-out to Loki for saving my ass on D&DDT. In the most recent episode of D&DDT, my character was about to die, and the Trickster God apparently decided to save her. So you can still listen to Allie on D&DDT or catch us on Twitch every other Monday. So this coming Monday, we'll be on there if you'd like to tune in. It's twitch.tv/TTRP Theater. So that'll be Monday, February 3rd, Domains of Dread, brought to you by TTRP Theater and our buddies at D&DDT. You can come listen to me. you can come listen to all of our good buddies over at Heel Turn who are on there. Not like all of them because it's a smaller group. I think we're going to be sans one or invite though for the next episode because
going to Japan.
Oren is going to Japan, our deathmatch boy. So best of luck to him. There's my shout out for the week. Best of luck to Oren. He's going to be doing all sorts of craziness in Japan. If you would like to follow him, you can follow him at Orenvite. It's VEIDT. The Wizard King, deathmatch guy, Aquaman's biggest fan, free thinker, and super cool dude who is going to Japan and doing some crazy work with GCW wrestling. He's just got all sorts of cool stuff going on. So supposedly some of that's going to be streamable too. So once I have information on how you can stream and watch some of those matches, if you're a deathmatch person, I highly recommend checking it out, and we'll make sure that we share all that information once it's available.
Speaking of streaming, so I think we have made a decision that we are going to watch a lot of the indie shows WrestleMania weekend.
Yes.
Via usually Fight does some sort of a package where they'll include like 8 or 9 shows for one price. I think we are going to break down and get that.
Yep.
We may have some guests on to talk about some of these events during that weekend, because I think that's our plan. So
that is the game plan. So we'll keep you guys posted on exactly what we're going to cover for Mania weekend as the next few weeks unfold. We're still kind of working out the details.
And then we'll probably go to watch Mania at Bar Luchador.
More than likely. It's going to be a long day.
Yes.
It's fine. I live there now.
Yeah, that's true.
It's cool.
So for the Married Marks, I'm Richard Townsend.
I'm Shannon Townsend.
And we will talk to you next week.